I'm live. Ugh, I'm live, but is it blurry? Is that my eyesight, or does it look blurry? I just updated OBS, and it never fails. Right before I should never do that. Right before I do a live stream. But this is a project uh, for Nate. He's the one I did the other edition for up in over in Middle Tennessee, and he's a good guy. And he's got this kind of these houses are a little bit, I'll just be honest with you, they're a little weird. They're these salt box looking things. Now, they do have some detail on the front of them, but funny enough, the street view didn't go down the front of these houses, it went down the street that was on the back side of them. But they've got these, you can see this long salt box kind of style, and that's really all the pictures I have, like this. So you can see the back. Now, well, I have pictures that Nate took, like this one of the where I was trying to estimate the pitch of the roof, which I had estimated at 512, and I was pretty close. So what I'm going to do is, if I can get back to where I am, I'm going to draw this post and beam on here. This drawing is from the owner, so I scaled it up, and they did a pretty good job, honestly, scaling it, because when I scaled the width of this Porch edition, it was pretty much right on. I think I've already got this set up to where, do I have the picks turn? If I turn the picks off and I turn the two-dimensional floor plan on. I didn't want to do that though, because I want to keep the picks on. I think what I'm going to do is move this over just to make sure. Let's move it over a given number though. Let's go 200 feet or 150 feet so I can move it back. But you can see I've already kind of got the two-dimensional floor plan going, and I did all this work yesterday. The as-builts can be really kind of hairy. I mean, they can take just as long as the actual work. And as a matter of fact, to make up for that time, I'm going to go and get the beams of the last job. This is the kind of the finished version of the last job. I left these little triangles in here to show that that's a fill-in from that existing roof. But what I'm interested in are these beams here, and these posts and these brackets, and that's really all I want to steal from this job. So I want to copy and go back and paste. And I'm going to put this right there. That fits good. Except I was a little, oh, I see what I did. I snapped to that theoretical point, not the actual point. This is a component. This is a post as a component, so I can change the height. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I just want to delete that and then just grab the post. And why is that bigger? 7.5. Well, that's weird. I think I must have accidentally what is it? Is it 7.5 this way? Oh, I know what I did. Never mind. The post is actually right. The post is right, the plan is wrong. Yeah, when you mill these posts, they come out to be 7 1/4, unless you buy rough ones. So 7.25 and okay, we're starting off with some weirdness already. I'm measuring it and it's coming out to be 7.25, but whenever I pull this line over here, 7.25, that's bigger. Oh wait, let me see if my drawing preferences. Let's see, drawing file. Let's see. Where is that? Is that in here? Model info. Let's change this precision to, I like the 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, let's change it, and then we'll see. That sometimes fixes these problems, because I may be snapping. We'll see what this says now. Yeah, that may be the problem in the other drawing. So this is going to be correct. Yep, that's what it is. No big deal. I can fix that. And then 7 1/4. I really didn't want to spend this much time on this kind of stuff. Now that way, yeah, that way it's correct. I don't know how the other way got off. This looks wider here. Okay. Because of the bracket. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if you bring a line over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to take this one and put it right here. And then we're going to move on, because what can I get out of that? This is about the framing, not perfecting the two-dimensional floor plan at this time, which is an honorable thing, but not very productive. Because in the end, the floor plan is going to be what's shown on the drawings, except for the elevations. So I do need to make sure that maybe I don't forget this. And bring, oops, I did that as a group. Because I dimension off the two-dimensional floor plan, which you should. Because when you try to dimension off of a three-dimensional object, you can, like if you're measuring in a plan view like this, and when you're snapping in layout, the layout is the software that comes with SketchUp Pro you do your drawings in. You can literally like snap. Like I could snap a horizontal dimension from here to down there accidentally. And so you wouldn't know it either, because you're looking at it in a, a two-dimensional perspective. So anyway, again, I'm wasting time. So I'm going to pull and what I want to do is get this beam Well, let's pull it out so I can see the end of it. Because what I want to do is I'm going to put this beam flush with the brick. Let me get my axis locked here, and then I can, and then I'm going to have to pull it down. And I think this is going to hang over 12 inches because that's all it can hang over on the sides because of the windows. But I'm going to go back and put a little detail on these to make them, oops. Felt like I lost my axis there. I'm going to go back and put a little detail on these. And it's just going to look like, for now, we'll come down 3, and we'll come over 6, and I don't know, we'll probably come back farther than that, maybe 8, and then we'll do something like you know, that thing where you go out a little bit and then you go back in a little bit like that. That's not perfect, and I'll fix it, but that's, oops, that'll just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to get into that kind of detail right now. I'm just trying to, and I'm going to make this a component too, because that way beam, that way when I ultimately do come up with the actual detail on the end, they'll both change. And that should give that a couple of inches to sit on there. Yeah. Really, for a 6x12, you'd probably want about 3 inches of bearing, but we're going to put a metal connector on the inside of it, so that'll fix that issue. Let's see if I have any comments. Gary Kidd, glad to be here today. Thanks for entertaining. Oh, well, thank you for being here. Good Lord. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, I'll check the comments periodically. I wish there was a way, I need to figure out a way to show the comments at the same time as I'm drafting. I do have 2 monitors, but I haven't figured that out. I have to close my laptop monitor to be able to see my big monitor, because it's right in front of me. And so now what I want to do is lower this to point, oops, I meant to, so it should be right here somewhere, and I'm going to test this. It should be right there, but no, that doesn't look right. I'm going to measure this. 8'11". Yeah, that's too tall. It's got to be more like, I'm just trying to figure out, well, we may have to just, first I need to determine if this soffit is hanging over the right distance or not. I need to ask Nate, the contractor. It's weird not being the contractor on a job, because I usually am on my local projects. Well, this one's not local. I think for now I'm just going to put it right there at the bottom of that freeze board. And because for some reason they got this really wide freeze board here, and I don't know if that shows up in the pictures or not. Kind of does, yeah. See how wide it is? Normally, if you had brick, this would only be like a 1x4 or 1x6 up here. It would just be wide enough to cover up the gap between the brick and the soffit. But they got these big, wide, and it makes me want to think they got these. They might have some trusses that they've used that have big heel heights on them or something, because a rafter. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. Weird. But anyway, I'm going to put this right there for right now, and then we're going to see how it affects the windows when we do our. This is why it's good to make components, because now I can just lower this one, lower this post. All right. Are you going to? What? Are you a group within? Oh, that's right, because I got the base. It's a group within a group because of the base down here. See, now that one fixed itself with a little help from me. I think these brackets are a little too wimpy. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something like this. But for now, what I'm going to do is make. I'm just going to leave these the way they are for now, just to remind me. Come on, do it right. -1. There we go. And I should just be able to make this go to here. If I can get my axis locked. There we go. See what that did on this side. Pretty good. Okay, that'll just balance that out until I can. Now, this pitch, this roof is, I think it's a 512. So we're going to start off with that, and I'm just going to draw like 4x8 rafters. So, and since this is timber frame, I'm just going to draw these. And typically, what you do is, let's see, we'd have our bird's mouth. Then we'd have at least a 4.5 inch heel height here. And we come over 12. We go up 5. Like that. And let's go over 12 for now, like that. That's not 12 inches horizontally. That's 12 inches at an angle. So what you have to do is, see, it would go a little further if it was. So you have to remember that. Gonna lock that and then go to there. And then, since we're using 4x8, I'll have to draw me a line down here, 7.25. I'm assuming we're using finished, not rough sawn lumber. I think I got more than halfway there. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to put me right now I'm going to put me a line in the middle. And then try not to delete anything behind it. And I got to close this off. Okay, something's not closed, and I know what it is. It's this right here. Got to be careful when you're deleting things. I've deleted things in the background before without knowing it, and only discovered it later when it was too late. So that's that. I think what I'm going to do though is raise this up. What you want to do is on this kind of thing where your structure is going to be open, you want to plan this out to where, make this a group. Oops. Well, I do want to make, no, I don't want to make that I want to make it a group. You want to plan this out so that this part of the rafter hits right here. And let's see if I can do it without, go up, not out, up. Okay. Sometimes you have to use your pointer, your arrow key. Because when you're in 3D, sometimes the SketchUp is pretty intuitive, but sometimes it has a hard time assuming what you mean. And we all know what assumptions do. And then what we would do here is, I think we're going to use 4x6s, so we go 3.5, 3.5, and that would be your rafter. Now the only thing that it's not is, let me adjust this. Let's see if we have any questions, comments. No more questions or comments. I'll keep checking back in case you do. But I don't like the way this texture is lined up on this. It's all cockeyed too. Where is the cockeyedness fixer? I thought that was it. Oh, it is. Okay, we're going to stick it there, and then we're going to move it up. That looks a little better. There. Now, that's really going to look weird though when I put it on this. Yeah, I knew it. Well, I know what to do. Go in and select the actual face and see if that'll fit. Fix it. Nope. I may not fool around. I'm not going to fool around with these textures much because you can go down rabbit holes with this stuff really fast. And is this the scale one? Just the scale one. That's not what I meant to do. As you can see, oops, okay. As you can see, you can get the rabbit holes going pretty quick if you're not careful. Where am I? There we are. We're just trying to represent, something wood. We're not trying to get too fancy. So now, I can take this and we'll have to make one more modification to it after we get it over here. Just spin it around. $180. Should just be able to make a meet for right now at the top. Wrong top. Is that working? Yep. And then we'll have a ridge that is, really don't need to get too crazy with the ridge. Let's see what they used. I don't think you need to use something. Yeah, you don't need to use something as big as a. We'll probably just use like a 4x12 though. We'll have to use that. So what will happen here is, let me fix this too. Let me get this and see if I can make this work right quick. I knew that was going to happen. See, this is the rabbit hole you get yourself into when you start worrying about this kind of stuff. But it looks better if the grains are going the right direction, right? So now we're going to put ourselves a ridge in here. That is, oh, by the way, I got myself some tea here. Because I was coughing. I was just getting over the crud. And 1.75 and 1.75. And I'm almost over it. I'm happy. Happy, happy, happy. So now your ridge will be from there, and we'll go down, we'll go down 9 1/4. Well, that's funny. I got lucky and snapped it. So it'll be like a 4x10. Okay. So what that means is your rafters are going to be cut back. And this is the nice thing about components. This is going to fix itself. Well, what happened to that? What happened to, did I not make that a component? Blah, blah, blah. I need to make these components because I may have to change. Does that mean I lost my texture? Oh man. Oh man, see the rabbit hole? Dang it. Oh man, what am I going to do? There we go. I thought I had made it a component and I didn't. That's disturbing. 180. Now these rafters they obviously don't have to be this big. They're just this big because now when I put that texture on this side and I fix it, it's gonna fix it for the other one on its other side. So that's the value of if I had gone down the rabbit hole on one timber, then I could have saved myself chasing the rabbit. I don't know how that got so small. Where is that? Oh. You see, that should have fixed the other side of this one too. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so now we're back to where we should have been before. But when I edit this one now, you'll see the other one go down too. Yeah, that's what you want right there. And now we have our ridge, which we will bring out to here for now, and we'll have that same little whoopie-doo on it. Let's see. Well, typically up here, yeah, we won't have that. What you'll have is, it depends on the fascia. We may do that. We may use a smaller fascia like they did because that looks good. Because what you can do is, right now I'm going to leave the ridge alone. I'm not going to mess with it for now because what I want to try to do is get these rafters up. I need to see how far, where this is going to hit. So, and if the pitch is going to look, I really would like to use a steeper pitch on the thing. See, when you do this little detail right here, it's nice to have enough open area up here to get a big enough bracket. If you got a little short stubby, that's why you'll normally see steeper pitches on these pergolas and these these post and beam porches and stuff, you'll hardly ever see a real flat one because there's just no room to put anything in there. And if I can get this beam and I can justify if I can get him to put this beam where I've got it, then as long as we don't hang down past the windows, we're good. So in other words, here's another good reason to make this have components, because now I can just copy one back here and kind of play around with how it might work out back here. I'm even thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking that an 8 or 10, 12 would look better. What we're going to do is we'll make us a set of because what you do is you start off with one right here against that. Set, lock that and go down here. I can see right there, and that one would only this one would be cut off like that. This one, I'll show you how that's going to work. So depending on where the height of this whole roof is, will place your valley in a given position. So that's going to be a factor too. So in that case, we might want to lower the whole thing, depending on where the roof is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this one group. Wait, if it'll stay selected. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to make that a group. And then I'm going to copy it over here, and that's going to be our 512 solution. And then we're going to, what you can do, this is a trick here. See, I'm going to explode this group, and then what I'm going to do is make all these rafters unique, right? So now if I just change one of them, they'll all four change. Let's see if I got no more questions or comments. It's awful. Let's get rid of some guidelines. So now I can come over here and I can make it, I think I'm going to do one that's a 10-12. Although, if I was just using my intuition here, how tall would I think this would want to be? I go to the midpoint and I go up 5 feet. Well, I can guess, and that's going to be 8's 48. That's going to be like 9 times 8. 9 times 8 is 72. So 8 times 8 is 64. Let's do a 812, and we'll see what that looks like. So what we'll do is we'll come over here. Let's put us a line right here. We'll come over 12. Go up 8. That right? So that means this is going to have to go let's see. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, this right here would go up there. That would go up there. So I'm going to go like this, and like this, and then like that. Let's double check that. Yep. So that's how much steeper it would be. I think my first reaction was good. If I went 7 times 8, that's 56. 8 times 8, 64. What did I do? 60. Yep. What matters here too is we'll get rid of these. I'm trying to get a good idea of this before I go through all the trouble, but I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and do the trouble. Do the trouble. Just to see how far this drops down. Then this is where you want to kind of start splitting the difference on your raft, on your bird's mouth. Is what is going on now? I'm trying to get out of that so I can lower it. Let's put us a line right here, and we'll lower this point right here. Oops. Right there. Now I can move it out here so I can get and fix it. Get rid of all this junk right here. Oh wait, that's supposed to be coming out. I'm not adding that. Oops. I'm not adding that. I'm supposed to be taking that out. Yeah, so this comes out. And that comes out. And this goes over. That. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you just use the Medic app? Well, I thought since this was just a few Raptors, it was no big deal. But it always happens that way, doesn't it? So now this will go right there. Let's get rid of some of this mess so we can see. Did I put any lines right there? No. So now, we can bring this one over here. $180 it. $180 it. That's weird. Sounds weird. Is that right? Why is that? Oh, I knew something looked weird. Huh. Oh, booger still left on there. Little booger right there. Tried to get away from me. There we go. And now we can make them meet in the middle. We'll put a construction line in the middle so we won't be fooled. Why does that say? It should say 8 feet from there. Yeah. So I can raise this up. Well, I'm just going to raise it up too high for right now. That'll give me something to shoot for. I don't think I raised it up too high. Let's see. I forgot if I just lock it on that axis or that I can come on, get up there. I can make them meet. And why are those lines not meeting? Oh, they are. It's optical illusion. Optical illusion always gets you. I was going to say they should just meet right in the middle. I don't know why they're acting weird. But something's weird. Something is weird. They should be meeting exactly in the middle. What's going on now? It's that little booger. Oh, look. What in the world, man? What is going on? But, you know, that's why we have CAD to solve the world's problems. Now we just gotta pick one of these and draw us a line. I want that to be, I want to go up and down. And go over to there. And I can delete this. But then I need to raise this up. There, and then bring them back. I should have done this instead of trying to fix it. Sequence. There. Yeah, there we go. Now, I think that's going to look much more attractive. But I can hear it now. That's too steep. Let's get this. I actually like it better than that. I like it better than the 512. But see if we have any opinions out there. Nobody's giving any opinions. What's wrong with you people? Oh, what did I make it? 12. I made it 812. That's not crazy talk. Well, I may call Nate right quick. See if I can get him to look at it. Put these in groups. Go ahead and just run that back a little bit so it looks like it's in there. I'll cut that off later.
Hey, what's going on, Tony?
Hey, I was wondering if I could show you something right quick.
Man, I'm out riding around.
Oh, you are?
I'm gonna go try to sell another one.
Oh, you are? Hold on.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I do this, can you see? Let's see. If I was just gonna FaceTime you right quick. But it looks like it's not letting me. Anyway, no, I was trying to FaceTime you, but it looks like it's not going to want to do it. Is it asking you for the FaceTime on the other side?
No.
All right. Oh, well, you must be connected to your truck or something.
No, I don't do that. I ain't technologically advanced enough to do that.
Well,
I do it old-fashioned way.
What I've got is I got two different pitches, and the 512 looks kind of flat, and the 812 looks good, but it's a little bit steep. It's a little bit higher. The 812 matches more of what they have in the photograph you sent me.
I know he definitely wants it more of a pitch.
And it doesn't go that far back. I mean, it's manageable. On the roof, the existing roof.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of work behind on that back wall.
No, I mean it's not going to be that much. I mean it only goes up another 1.5 or so. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me lay the phone down a second. Up. Let's see. Top to top. Yeah, it goes up just 2 feet more. So, but that's up in the peak. So it's not really. Did I hang up on you? No.
I'm listening.
I thought I had hung up. It's only about 2 feet taller.
Oh, okay. But
the overall height is only. I mean, it's 67 inches tall, so you can still stand on the beam and you're still taller than the ridge. It's not like
Okay.
it's tall per se, like as in human tall. Uh, I think it looks better. And then so what the thing is, it makes the bracket on the front look better. That the angle brackets in the middle of the gable.
Yeah.
If you use a real flat, a flatter pitch, there's not really a lot of room there to put a bracket. Uh, but it's going to be kind of big in this case. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower it to a 7 and see what it looks like. So, okay, well, let me work on it some more, and I'll talk to you when you can look at it.
All right. I'll shoot
All
you
right.
a text a little bit.
Thanks. All right, bye. That was the contractor. My thing is that this is too flat. I don't know, man. So if we did a 6 would raise it up just a little bit. I guess it's worth. Let's put these over here. Let's do something right quick, and I'll show you Medique's extension. I can make the rafter. I just have to put in. Just have to put the parameters in. So if I put myself a line right here, and I go to Medique Truss, which has a roof rafters, I do a gable roof. And we go from here to here. See, this is the thing. I'm just going to have to run it back in here. Where am I? I'm going to run it back in here a good ways until I know it works. So, roof pitch. This is the value of this. I can just change the roof pitch and then specify. Let's start off with the 712. Overhangs 12 inches. Rafter width. And see here we can change it to. We can change this to 2, and we can change this to 3.5. And ridge board is 9 1/4 by 3.5. We can make these rafters timber rafters. Bird's mouth cut is 5 1/2. That's correct. Ceiling joist, no. No, and we go okay, and we say, okay, rafter spacing. Oh, that's a good question. We'll leave them at 2 feet for now, but on these timber rafters, you can go as far as your decking will span. I think you can go up to like 3 feet on a 2 by 6 ton groove, but that would be. Let's see, 2, 4. I think 2 feet's probably going to look better. So we'll go gable in rafters, same as rafters. Gable rafter depth. Let's see, gable rafter depth. Here's a question. Let's start off with that. And we'll start off with that. Yes, advanced roof options. I'm going to say yes for now, and then we can turn them off if we want to. And let's just see what this looks like. Looks like soffit. We're not going to do any soffit. So the sheeting would be, yes, it would be 1.5 inches. This is going to be the only problem with this is that he doesn't have any like 2 by 6. So I'm just going to say 3/4 for right now. Subfascia, yes. Subfascia width. We'll just have to go with it for now. We'll say this is 12. And right now we're just trying to mess with the pitch a little bit. So I don't want to get too crazy outlookers. No, not right now. We don't need outlookers for this because the decking is going to act as an outlooker because it's so thick. Hail blocking, no. Orientation, roof cladding, yes. Let's say no for right now. Well, we could say yes. And say no, yeah. Okay. There we go. And see, I almost made it go back far enough. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Well, I can make it a little longer. Then we can play around with the pitch a little bit. Edit this. And how long did it go? Building length. Let's make it 26 feet. There we go. The lag there. Alright, so now what we can do is I'm just going to go ahead and use this because see I can change. We'll turn the soffit off because we won't have a soffit per se. Where is it? Soffit. There's the soffit cut. Where do we turn the soffit off? Is it down here? Fascia. We're going to say no and no. Update. Because what I can do is after I get this to close, I can edit this. And it did not turn the soffit off. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it off here. So, because what we want to do is see our rafters. And let's turn the roof sheeting off. So there we go. So that would be, and I think I'm going to change the spacing on these two. We actually won't have a subfascia board, I don't think. If we do, it'll be like almost like a 2x4 where you wouldn't cover up the ends of the rafters. Like this one over here. If it's, see these typically, well that one does that one have one? Yeah, sometimes you don't have a fascia. If you want to have a gutter, we'll just leave one on there. We'll just leave it on there for now. Sometimes if you're not going to have a gutter, you see how it's weird because the rafter tails hang down past whatever it is. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll just make a piece that looks like a shingle mold or something. Like if I go in here and tell it to subfascia is like 3.5, then it looks more like a piece of trim. I don't know why there's all this lag. Update. That's weird. Do I have something weird going on in the background here? But anyway, and then I would probably space these, since this is a post and beam structure, we would put these rafters on a rafter spacing. There's so many. Here we go. I'm going to say 36. There we go. For now, just to give us a post and beam look like that. I might even make the overhang on the front more because it would look better. We don't have to worry about the overhang on the front. So if we came down and front and back, and then where is it? That's the overhang, gable overhang. Let's say 16. I think this is the right area. Not sure why it is not updating. Is that 16 here? Oh, I see, it did update. Nope, it didn't. Overhang left, overhang right. Gable, oh, what? 16. Update. Why? Okay, well, I'm just kind of wasting time with that. Because I'm going to have to do some things manually anyway. I don't know why. Should be 16 to there, but I don't know why it won't update. I'm sure it's user error. Let's just try one at a time. Let me try regenerating it. That might be a little trick we can do. Probably has something to do with something going on in the background here. But anyway, the thing here is, once we decide on the pitch, then I can come in and put the decorative part of it on there. And this, what you would do here, since this is going to be exposed, is you would, if I was going to go in here and edit this, I would put editing, yeah. First of all, I'd finish this out so I'd have something to draw on. I'm trying to go down and over like that, and then you could do a little just something to give it a little detail. That's not exactly what I wanted. Not that smooth. Oops, let's delete this one. Well, I was going to use it as a guide. Anyway, it's not perfect, but it would be something like that. And then go over there, and you can get rid of this line and that line. So it'd just be a little decorative extension. Should be able to get rid of that, but how much you want to bet it? Well, yeah, I'll have to hide it. And I'll have to keep that one too. Like that. That's kind of ugly, but you'll have some kind of little whoopie-doo on there. I'll fix it. You have some kind of little detail on there. You wouldn't just leave it kind of notched like it was. And then for the pergola, no comments. We can use, how tall is this? Yep. We can use sort of basically the same thing. Let's see, we got these posts right here. Can be copied back here. Like that. That's what's going to support those beams. The beams going back. And then we can copy all this and put it over there. And that little booger there got out of whack, didn't it? I know what I should have done. I should have left those. I made blocks out of those, or groups out of those posts. I should have just left them. Yeah. I should have just made them part of the floor plan. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. And then trying to get out of that group. There we go. So these two would go over here. Might as well just get rid of these. This one and this one. Because I can copy this one. That didn't work. What we might do is make these 6x6s. But I can make all these unique to each other and they'll all change if we decide to do that. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I bet you I just changed this one. No, I didn't. Gotta be careful though, because I need to go ahead and make these posts unique, because I'll end up, I've done that before where I forgot. And I've changed the ones I had already done. Make unique. And then the beams are what I need to make unique, because these will change over here if I change these. And then so what I can do is put this beam. What we might do is change the heaviness factor of this, because it's such a small thing. You don't want to make things real thick and heavy on smaller scale portions of the project. 12. Oops. -1. And this is, you know, they did the old 2 by trick, which I guess is the look they want. I may have to ask about that, because if you're going to order, if you're going to order these timbers here, you could just order these 2 and just knock it out like that, and then you could set your trellis, your pergola rafters on top of this. So that's a question I'm going to have to ask also. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to get this pitch information right with Nate and get this. But see, this is what happens when you go through this process of planning. These questions will come up in the design process, not on the site when you're trying to build it. One of the issues I was worried about was this, how this is going to work together. You see this subfascia is dropped because of the angle of the roof. If I turn the roof sheeting back on, you'll see why it's dropped. And of course it looks better now, but I don't understand why. Sometimes you'll get a little corruption in your drawing. Model info, preferences, and where is it? General. Okay. Model info. Where is the tab that? Here we go. Fix problems. There's no problems found. Okay. Sometimes you'll get a little corruption in your drawing, and that will cause things like this where I can't get this to update to 16 inches on this overhang. You see it keeps reverting back to and I need to update my extension. He put out a new extension, and I may need to just update it, but it won't. It's not updating. It's staying at 12. And I don't want to explode this yet, because I want to be able to. The nice thing about this extension is, I can show him at 612. Will that update? Oh yeah, that part will update. You know what might be funny is that since I got that to update, now I might be able to go back down here and see if this is updated. It's not though. Well, one foot. It's still 12 inches to there. So I don't know why. Am I just reading this wrong? Is this? This should be 12 from here to there? Yeah. There's no two ways about it. If you change it up here, let's see if we can get the overhang on this to change. See that updates. I don't know why the gable ends won't update. Of course, this needs to be 12. I need to ask the other Nate. Nathan Wilkerson is the one that developed this extension, and it's awesome. I'm actually starting to dig the 612. Yeah, I'm starting to dig that. I bet you anything that's what we end up with. Because this 812 is a little too steep. Because what it would do is it would right there's where you should be. Oh, that is, yeah. What it would do is it would cause this bracket in the middle to be a little too big, I think. And this seems to be just right, this bracket size. This is why it's cool to have the extension, because you can kind of play around with the pitch without having to. You saw how long it took me to draw just those two pitches, and the other thing you're trying to do too is work this overhang so that you're. I mean, it's okay if this valley is a little back, but you wouldn't want this part back past the original part. As a matter of fact, it's better if this overhangs just a tad, because your gutter, because the water can roll out into the gutter better that way. So I think I'm going to stop here, and let's see if I have anybody have any questions. Nope, slow day on the interwebs, and I know it's boring. This is work, so it's tedious sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to get with Nate and see at what pitch he likes, and then we'll come back and revisit this later. So, thank you. Where am I? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.